Showtime! The Capital G Show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So guys, doing another episode of everybody's favorite series on my channel, where Capital G was wrong. For those of you guys who don't know, this is the video that precedes the pre-YCS bowl predictions video, where I give some explanations and some brief descriptions as to why some of my predictions did not pan out as I thought they would. I own it. I don't try and run from being wrong. If you get caught up in being wrong, you'll never be successful. So let's hit the music and get things started. Where Capital G was wrong. So not only did Prophecy not take YCS Austin as predicted by yours truly on the Capital G Show, apparently the deck didn't even show up. I mean, 0 spots in top 32? That's impossible for a deck with so many good cards and an amazing boss monster. I thought this deck was Dark World. Maybe it's only similar to Dark World in the fact that it can't get out of its own freaking way. Maybe it has the Dallas Cowboy gene to where you see all the talent and all the good things, but at the most inopportune time, the deck is just gonna flat out implode. And with such a waste in this, is I gave the best pre-YCS speech in Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game history. I know that because I took that speech straight from the Bill Belichick big book of speeches. In fact, that's the same speech that he gave the Patriots right before they lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. The second time, not the first time. Look, the point is, Prophecy players should have been amped up. They should have came out and played like their hair was on fire, and they should have did the damn thing, and they didn't. They fell flat. Where Capital G was wrong. I'll be the first one to give it up for Fire Fist. I mean, the deck did basically double what I predicted it would have in top 32. Quite frankly, I thought that Fire Fists were well below Mermail Atlantean on the tier list, but it's not really looking that way right now. I think that the deck has cemented itself right in this moment as the second best deck in the format, and I've got to give it up. I mean, the Fire Fist players showed up, but more importantly, they showed out. Second place and only your second legal YCS, that's nothing to sneeze at, and I think that a lot of the deck's limitations have been completely circumvented by the players due to innovation. Tour Guide and things like Reborn Tengu in the main deck. I mean, that's some really hot tech, to be completely honest. I think that the Banishers coming out of the side deck are really going to help the players deal with the Mermail Atlantean matchup. I think that this deck has a decisive advantage over Windup because, you just have removal for days. I think you do have an answer to the Royal Decree problem. Obviously, you have Gorilla and, MSTs and whatnot. And I think that, Fire Fist is one of those decks where it's trending up because has a really good matchup against the Verse, and it's getting more support soon. Where Capital G was wrong. So I did go out on the limb when I said Heretics with top 8 YCS Austin. I still do like a lot of the things that the deck has going for it. They're fast, they're explosive, they can OTK even through cards like Max C because they have Quackamuru Drago, which stop things like Gores, Battle Fader, Tragodia, stuff of that nature. Yes, I do understand the deck doesn't play defense, but hell, Karakuri, Mermail, Prophecy, they don't play defense either, so who really cares? I do feel like the deck does suffer with some inconsistency issues, but with Volcasaurus being added into the mix and being able to get more consistent OTKs, I thought that those things would kind of even out, and I don't know what happened with my man Paul Cooper. Come on, dog, you should have been a shoo-in for top 8, so maybe he fell asleep at the wheel or something like that. It does kind of suck because when the Verse come out, Ophidian, this deck's fucking over. Where Capital G was right. So Windup took exactly one top 8 spot at YCS Austin as predicted on this channel, and let's be clear, I haven't been the biggest buyer of Windup stock as of lately, but I am slowly coming around. I do feel like Windups are a good deck. I'm very hesitant to call them a great deck simply because I feel like Fire Fist and Mermail are just decisively better right now. I have never discounted once though how amazing Windup Factory and Windup Rabbit are. Hell, you put those two together in the early game and this deck might become the best deck of the format, bar none. I still feel like Windups have the best extra deck game in the entire format. I feel like Volcasaurus has given them the OTK out of your ass ability that the deck, had last format, and I think that it doesn't really struggle against any of its matchups inherently outside of, Mermail Atlanteans, but longevity is the key. How long can Windup sustain this when you have a deck like the Verse coming out, when Prophecy get their powerhouse spell cards? Can Windups really stand the test of time? That's what I'm wondering. Where Capital G was wrong. Alright, so I never just came out and said, you know, I don't really think heroes are worth a damn this format, but I mean, at any time if you would ask me before this event, what do you think of heroes, I would have said, you know, I don't really think heroes are worth a damn this format. Man, talk about a deck just blowing the roof off of expectations. You know, heroes did the absolute damn thing at this event in spades, man. I mean, 2 top 16 finishes in decks that were completely different. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming. My biggest beef with heroes going into this format was, how the hell are you going to beat Mermail Atlanteans? And I never took into consideration how amazing Ab-Zero is in that match. Not only can they obviously just Miracle Fusion it using, you know, Bubble Man, but, you know, Super Poly is a card, and it's an amazing card, and they can use any of your cards to make Ab-Zero. And Ab-Zero, once he's on the field, is a just freaking headache and a half for that deck. You know, anytime your opponent summons a monster, your Ab-Zero automatically goes to 3,000, so that's something that you don't want to have to deal with. If you kill him in any way, he's going to Regeki your field. You know, a lot of Mermail players are only playing 1 heavy infantry, so it's not like you have a tons of ways of dealing with them, and, you know, he's just a really good card. Now, inherently, because of the, you know, some of your key cards like Gemini Spark and Hero Blast, the deck actually shouldn't have too much of a problem with Mermail and Fire Fist. So, you know, I actually like that matchup there. I mean, and just who would have thought that heroes would be a very legitimate deck right now? I mean, I didn't. I also don't think that they'll have a huge problem, you know, struggling with some of the decks that are coming out soon. So guys, let me know what you think of some of my bad predictions. Maybe I missed something, and you can leave that in the comment section below. Click the like button. It helps me spread the word to some of the people who may not have seen this video yet. And if you're not subscribed, maybe this is the video that did it for you. Take care, have a nice day, and remember to play a children's card game like a boss. Subscribing makes life happy.